Hello, welcome back. This is Jeff Byers, and this is Module 3, and we're going to be creating a fire hydrant scene, and we'll get right to it. Overview, basically, in this module, you can continue with learning about particles, fields, and collisions. And you're going to create a scene, and a lot of you guys are going to be bringing in models from model banks. And hopefully you get models that have textures. But we're going to create a kind of a small city street scene, and you can use pre-built models, or you can use original 3D artwork. And you're going to set dress and basically find a car that you want to use, and you're going to create a short animation of that car kind of losing control, hitting a fire hydrant, and then breaking the fire hydrant, and then you're going to create the visual effect of the water pressure, water under pressure being pushed up, and using a volume emitter this time. Okay, so it's gonna take a little more time with this because I'm gonna have you create a more visual scene with pieces. You're gonna have to do some other extra work. So when you're creating this, make sure you read the overview really closely. And I just kind of summed it up. Now again, I'll just read the notes here. The student may use any assets they have available to them. This could include past models they created in another class, and or models they find on the web. Please give yourself extra time to fix any issues with modeling, texturing, scaling when working with these free models on the web. Now we all know, and if you haven't before, free models can be really messed up as far as geometry goes, and some of them have textures, some of them don't. Some of them that say they have textures don't have any UV mapping, so they're kind of useless. So watch for that. And how you set dress your scene and animate your scene is up to you, but you have to allow or follow the parameters stated in the Modeling 3 course assignment required asset list. You guys can read the objectives. And we'll go through this again. We're going to be talking about, in the discussion post, we're going to be talking about setting goals, setting personal and professional goals, and I want you to watch the video. That's a good video. Some of you guys have seen it before, so please talk about some of the experiences you've had with setting goals and why they're relevant and why it's important to set goals. So we'll talk about that in the discussion forum. And then, we need to all know about, Maya, and most of you guys know in this class, you're up in an upper level class, so Maya corrupts all the time. So to run it smoothly, I've got some steps that you guys can take. If you have questions about that, let me know. Our test review is going to be about Maya hotkeys. So you can open this link up here and kind of just, jot down, take some notes, learn some hotkeys. And that quiz is over that, and you can have Maya open and you can use whatever notes you want. So keep that in mind when you're taking the quizzes. I leave those basically open as long as you're finding the information from this for Module 3 or whatever module it is when you're ever taking a quiz. Module 3 course assignment. The student will use the information and techniques learned from both Modules 1 and 2, and you've learned a lot. So expect you guys to go back and take those techniques from Modules 1 and 2. So if we talk about splitting the particles up upon collision, you have to remember that we did that in the rain simulation. So make sure you watch that rain simulation if you have questions about that. The idea here is that you're going to build upon what you've learned from other classes or other modules. So modules 1 and 2. So you're going to be creating and building upon those, and learning more and more, and using the fields more, and getting the a more realistic look to your simulations, building upon those new skills that you have. So you'll set dress an outdoor street, 2 small buildings, or 1 large building. And I take you through that with a video. Seen using pre-built textured models or original 3D artwork. We've kind of gone through that. You'll set dress the scene. You're going to create all the, you're going to create all the assets in scene. Make sure that it basically says you can find or create all the assets you need for the scene, and make sure you look at the required assets. And basically what that says is that you need a fire hydrant, and then you need 4 other props, and you can have more. It's just a minimum of 4, okay, to get the credit that you want. You're going to create a short animation that involves a car losing control and crashing into a fire hydrant. That can be anything you want. Try to make it as realistic as possible. But have fun, as you're doing it. Hopefully you guys are having fun with all this stuff. The realistic particle simulation show a high pressure water pipe break. This is kind of what I'm really looking for, something that looks realistic. Now I know that water shoots up pretty high at first, and then it kind of calms down. But what I want to see is that that's the biggest thing, and we're basically creating a scene so we can show off our particle simulation. And we're going to use a volume emitter this time, using a sphere. That works out the best. And create a particle dynamic simulation. You're going to add fields, collisions, color, particle shape attributes. You're going to be moving and changing all those attributes, and creating small splashes. So if you've gotten how to do splashes, you can go back to modules 1 with the rain, and I take you through that, how to do that. And make sure you carefully read everything and watch the videos. If you have any questions, let me know. I try not to say I try to be very careful, say something in one area, not in the other, and sometimes I get caught. So if you do catch something like that, let me know right away so I can make that change, so everybody will know about it. So, of course, I always encourage you guys to go above and beyond when creating your scenes. Okay, we want to keep the poly count as low as possible, because otherwise the particles won't simulate properly. The student may use any assets they have available to them, which includes past models, and we talked about that. How you set your rest in your scene and animate your scene is up to you, but you have to follow all the parameters stated in the course assignment, Module 3 course assignment, and required asset list. Here's the required asset list: downtown scene, low poly, minimum of 2 buildings, road, sidewalk, additional props needed to complete the scene. See item 4 for more details. Well, here's the item 4 right here. So you're going to have 4 extra 3D props, which is not much at all. And you can add more if you'd like. In fact, I welcome it. So make it look like a real scene. Put stop signs in there, maybe traffic lights, whatever you want to do. And you have to have a car, and you have to have a fire hydrant. Okay? Alright. Here's a set dressing tutorial. That's kind of fun. It's about CGI, how they set dress CGI, and why you do it, and all that stuff. And then we get into finding the assets that we need. I just have CG Trader in here. There's other ones like Turbo Squid, and please feel free to use those. This is just one. I'm not going to go in there and have a huge list of stuff, so you can go in there and type in model banks if you want to, and you should come up with some good ideas. So basically, it's entirely up to you what type of city scene, car, fire hydrant, and props you would like to use, but please remember that you need to find low poly for the simulation to run smoothly. Please watch the importing free assets and how to fix textures and geometry errors video tutorial that's below, and choose. And those of you feeling motivated to create your own car, please feel free to do so now. Creating your car does take a long time, so just a week. Good luck with that. Now, if you've created cars before, now some of you have already, so please feel free to use that from other classes. Okay, so here's kind of this little thing that I've written here that makes a lot of sense that you need to be aware of. And if you haven't found free models, you may not be aware of this. But so some free models out there that are corrupted with geometry errors, and you may not be able to use them in your scene. Please allow extra time to prep the models properly. There are some models you just cannot prep. There are some models that are so corrupted that you can't use them. So keep that in mind when you're getting free stuff. You get what you pay for. Well, you're not paying for it, so you don't get much. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so it's time to actually create and find your assets. So you can read that area here. And again, I keep warning you about extra time to fix things, so keep that in mind. Starting this module later than sooner can catch you on this one, because you guys are used to probably getting stuff done in a couple hours. This will take about 4 or 5 hours to get finished, so keep that in mind. I do have a direct link to the car that I used in my video, so feel free to download that. And also I've got a link to the free props package that I actually used in my scene, so please feel free to download that and use that. Again, I'm not telling you what to download, what you should use. I'm just giving you an area where you can follow along with me. Those of you that are uncertain and uncomfortable going out and downloading free models, these have already been tested, and just to let you know. And then we've got the module course assignment video tutorials, how to create a high pressure water simulation using a volume emitter, and then creating a city street using a module 1 assets. I show you how to create your scene from reusing your module 1, which makes sense. Importing a car asset, how to fix the textures and geometry errors, so I show you how to do that. Importing free prop assets to how to fix textures. So we basically take you through all the props, all 5 of them, and getting those cleaned up. And then set dressing and finalizing your scene. Okay, so basically what I'm saying here is that now that you've got all the information, okay, now put it together, and I want to see if you guys can create the simulation on your own. Now the simulation starts up here. I show you how to do the whole entire thing in this video right here, the simulation, and we talk about how to build everything, so you got all the information you need. So I want you to have fun with this. I want you to kind of problem solve your issues out. Of course, email me if you have questions about something, and again, understand that this is going to be a real problem-solving thing for you, so spend a little more time on this than you have been with the other video tutorials. And I'm kind of letting you kind of run with this one, and you know, you'll get hang-ups. So just email me, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. All right. So what you're going to turn in, just make sure you follow the turn-in instructions, deliverables, and structure. Folder structure. And extra credit would be, if you want to get 10 extra credit points, go ahead and watch this video tutorial on rigging your car, and that's basically a really quick rig. I think it's like 15 minutes or something like that for 10 extra credit points. And what you can do then at that point is take screenshots of the rig, or maybe a play blast animation of it actually working, and actually put it in your scene. So if you have the car, if you did the rig, then the car's wheels will actually move on their own while you animate it. So that's really pretty cool. So once you watch everything, now what you do is you get your scene completely finished, and then you can go in there and animate your car the way like you want it, like when you're basically just hitting the fire hydrant and knocking it over, and then the car rolling to a stop or whatever, and you have the water erupt. Okay, from here, from the water pressure. So the idea is to get this to animate where you want it to animate, right? Where you want the animation, the water particles to start would be the rate. So you go into the emitter, and the rate you turn to 0, and you animate it to 0 from 0, and then whatever frame the car hits it, knocks the fire hydrant over, that's when you keyframe that again. So you keyframe the rate, and that's the problem solver. So if you're watching this video all the way to the end, you got your answer. To get the problem solve that out, to get the water to start where you want it to start, the emitter to start, you have to animate the rate. So you keyframe the rate. Okay? So if you have questions, let me know. And hopefully you guys do the extra credit, which is 10 extra credit points. And the only place you can't put it is Module 15 discussion, assignment, or quiz. And of course you cannot do the final exam, because those are exempt. All right, but anything else up is up for grabs. So once you get to 10 extra points, you keep it. You tell me where you want to put it at the end of the semester. That's fine with me, and I'll have those once in a while. Have a good day. I'll talk to you soon.